Thank you so much once again, reminding our viewers about Realty Plus and its products. We now have with us Mr. Anshuman Magazine, who is considered the thought leader of the real estate sector. Mr. Magazine is, he has more than 25 years of experience. So, long real estate experience, Mr. Magazine. You've been with the real estate industry for quite a long time.
Yes, a long time. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my camera here. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yes.
26 years. So yeah,
Oh,
it's a long
fantastic.
time.
So you have the pulse of the real estate sector. You have seen how real estate sector has grown from an organized to now almost organized segment, and it is on in the right direction. So over to you, Mr. Magazine. Please share with us your valuable views on the future ready real estate that we are going to see.
Sure, thanks. Thanks for inviting me. And I just wanted to talk about that. Yeah, the industrial real estate industry in India has come a long way since last several years. There's no doubt. Some of the things which I used to talk about or we did wish many years back are happening now. Top of my list was institutional players in the real estate market. How the real estate market in India we felt would only get organized and become professional if there are large institutions participating in it. As you know, historically in India, real estate was not even the banks never would lend money to the real estate industry, and today that is actually unfolding and it's happening. Uh, be it a REIT structure, be it the foreign direct investment, be it the local financial institutions putting equity and debt into the real estate market, to corporates coming in development like Godrej and Mahindras and others. So certainly, it has come a long way, and going forward, this is what will really make a big difference. And this is still not fully played out. You will see. So today, you see, we could not have imagined that the largest office owners of our country would be, will be large institutions like Blackstone, Brookfield, GICs of this world, and then of course there are local players also. And there will be. This is still, like I mentioned, as far as I'm concerned, we're still scratching the surface. Going forward, there'll be more institutional money coming into the real estate market that will bring in more transparency, efficiency, and professionalism in this industry, which will attract more funds. The other part is regulation. Although we need in any industry least regulation as possible, but in this case, RERA, I must say, which came in some time and still getting fully implemented, has made a difference to give confidence to both institutional and local individual investors into the market. And I think what other thing I'm seeing, which will going in the future, I'm hoping it'll improve, that the government has really, it seems, realized the importance of the real estate industry to the economy. It as a provider of employment, as being a large part of the GDP of any country, and with so many industries attached to it. And lately, we've been seeing that the government has taken an active role in trying to support the real estate industry, recognizing it of its importance. Although, of course, much more can be done, and much more the government can do a lot, even more. But still, compared to, if you look at historically, I think the government is the way they've been in dialogue with the industry bodies and trying to help all the industry bodies shows that government does realize the importance of real estate. The other area is really, which, if I would say, compared to many years back, one of the big challenges India had was high interest rates, high mortgage rates. And today, our mortgage rates or our home loans, the interest rate is a 15-year low. And I think that is one of the areas which has triggered demand, what we see recently, and recovery, some recovery in the real estate, in the residential part of the real estate industry, is because of the low interest rates. And the low interest rates are really important for not only individuals buying houses, but also low interest rates encourage investment generally, and of course, here in this case of real estate. So low interest rates, finally we are at that stage. We are still higher than most of the international markets, but still much lower than we were, and that's which is very good for the industry. The other is technology. I think enough is spoken about technology, so I won't talk too much about it. But going forward, there's so many. What I'm excited about is, besides all the tech products which are coming in, and again, it's evolving. It's only going to get better. The number of prop tech companies which are coming up, a lot of young people coming in with new ideas in property technology is really, really encouraging and exciting. And I think this is going to get more people to come into it, and it'll only make our industry even better. And there are many technology products, from energy savings to improving the processes, improving sales, improving information and data management, and I can go on, which are going to define our industry going forward. Um, what is also improved and is going to really take this industry in the future to the next level is the quality of talent which has come into the real estate industry. Because if I would say last 20 years, 25 years, development has also increased the pool of trained people, skilled manpower, the amount of construction which has happened. So all across, the quality of talent in real estate and construction has improved significantly. And going forward, this will keep them, really, improve the momentum of talent coming in, and also again in the future will make the real estate industry stand out. And I would say that overall, there are a few other things quickly I can think of, is that as far as the residential sector is concerned, the migration from rural to urban areas, and having one of the world's youngest working population will fuel the demand for residential for many years. No doubt, thanks to COVID-19 and anyways the economy being slow, the residential market has been slow in India. However, the whatever the recovery we're seeing right now, it's going to be a slow recovery, but it's definitely a recovery. Is thanks to, like I mentioned, low interest rates, prices being competitive, and the young workforce. And there is still a lot of people who still need to own homes or improve their quality of homes. That will continue to fuel demand for residential. As far as office is concerned, the biggest plus India has is that it is the world's offshoring destination. It's the world's, technology development center. Business process outsourcing companies are here, and we have an established track record of delivering quality services to global companies, to global economies and markets at a very competitive rate. That is going to continue, and that is what, in spite of a slowdown in our office market, we are seeing a recovery, and we will see a full recovery sooner than later. Thanks to the offshoring, India being an offshoring destination, and also that as the economy, and this unfortunately one end, COVID-19 has been devastating, but the benefit India will get out of the slow economy, and because of COVID-19, a lot of the economy suffering would be they would need to cut cost, and to cut costs they would have to offshore, where India will benefit. So I do see a recovery in the office market because of that, and of course there are many other reasons, but that will be a main reason. Manufacturing, India is far behind, but we are seeing manufacturing to some extent moving out of China. Uh, I personally feel we as a country have not captured that opportunity fully. And But in spite of that, there are companies moving here, and India needs to push its manufacturing, which will be inevitable to some extent, because as the domestic demand increases, so the industrial side of the real estate will see more activity than we have seen in the past going forward. Then, of course, there's retail. We are undersupplied as a country. As our economy picks up, as the aspiration levels have gone up, retail consumption is going to increase, and we will see, a larger retail real estate market than when we have today. Of course, e-commerce has increased thanks to COVID-19. It has accelerated the number of people who go online and shop, and thanks to that, at one level, logistics market in India has seen, even in this COVID-19 times, a significant growth. And as retail manufacturing increases and e-commerce remains here, the logistics market will expand even at a higher pace. And just to conclude, there are other areas like co-living, co-working, data centers. All this is happening in the real estate market. Our hospitality industry, which is impacted like anywhere else in the world, big time, will start recovering. We have again a large population, a large young population. We are really behind as an economy. We're going to grow for many years, and that will really bring up all the all the sectors. So just want to mention that these are difficult times, no doubt. uh, However, there is a recovery, albeit it's a slow recovery, but it's definitely a recovery. And I do expect better times, and I for next at least 10 to 15 years see very exciting times for the real estate industry, and there will be a huge amount of action and growth in this industry. No doubt, we need to remain cautious. COVID-19 is not gone; it is still hanging like a sword on our neck, but it will, so we need to still remain cautious. We will see recovery. We may see a bit of a uneven recovery, but certainly it's a recovery. And there's a lot to be optimistic about, and I'm very excited for the next several years what the industry will see.
Mr. Magazine, in fact, our earlier speakers were also very positive about the real estate. In fact, all segments, residential or commercial, or even the new asset classes that you just mentioned, and you gave a very good summarization, in fact, of all the segments. Many people have been saying that now real estate will become more like an FMCG industry. What do you think?
Well, in parts, yes, but not in entirety. See, the real estate industry is a very large industry. So FMCG, I'm not sure what they mean by saying that it'll be FMCG, because yes, some parts would be maybe residential. Sales could be more, could be categorized that way, but I don't think the other sectors would be. But certainly, some parts would be, especially
And
residential.
more like a service industry, because now I think the focus is on servicing the client, consumer centricity. Are you looking at that shift happening in the developer's mindset?
Actually, I must admit that shift is happening, and that shift again is happening because of an aware consumer. So, for example, earlier you would say that any buyer of a residential apartment, I would say, or any occupier of an office space, would say, okay, these are commercial terms, these are the in a residential, these are the features you're getting. But the big differentiator is you may move to an apartment or a house or a housing development which has got all the features. But if it is not professionally maintained, then you're not getting the quality of life or living which has been promised. So you can live in a fantastic residential development with, like I said, all the amenities. But if it's poorly maintained, you can't enjoy that living. So now that's why in the services side that has made a big difference, and facilities and property management is becoming important, and people have realized that not only need good quality, need good maintenance. Similarly, on construction, there is this whole we see more and more people outsourcing project management, what we do as a company also, because you need a professional to make sure the quality which is promised is delivered at a competitive cost in a timely manner. So services will definitely become extremely important. And when you talk about technology, that is also playing a big part, because then consumers, occupiers are getting data, live data on what is happening, be it on maintenance, be it on information. So technology will also play a big part in services, and that is happening. In fact, it is going to only accelerate going forward.
That's right. Mr. Magazine, you also touched about the talent. The real estate now is attracting, and we are getting the good talent in the industry. But there is also a concern about the lack of, probably the training institutes, especially for real estate. While we have engineering colleges, while we have architectural colleges, while we have, colleges for, but for real estate, I don't think there are many, or just one or two, I believe, institutes to train people, especially for real estate.
I couldn't agree more. That is a problem. And I know institution like ICS, which even I was part of, I am part of. We set up one of the first, education and, degrees in real estate. And then some of the universities are offering courses in real estate, but certainly this is a gap. And what has happened, we look at our organization, CBRE, we we just train people on the job. We even now, I would say the only closest trained people, so-called trained people in real estate are architects or civil engineers. There's no real estate training as such. And everybody learned on the job, including myself, no professional training. And I just hope that more people come forward to set up institutions. The part of the problem is that there are too many constraints in setting up educational institutions, and I hope the government. I believe this has been brought up with the government, not only real estate, otherwise. To privatize education is a big discussion happening at the government level, and I hope the government opens up the education industry more for private participation, and I think that will help. And certainly this is a gap, and I hope someone fills that gap, and that is no doubt the need of the hour now.
Right, with thought leaders like you, I think probably with other players, the big players, the developers, I think we can look at something working out. Uh, so, as concluding, if you can share with us overall, what are the five top trends that you see going forward? We hopefully will be out of this situation, this pandemic, very soon. But what, according to you, would be the top five trends for the Indian real estate?
Oh, I think five trends. I did actually list out most of the trends, but
Yeah.
certainly one is, like I mentioned, the institutions playing a big part. Like I earlier had said that all the office market today, it's institutions who own the largest office space in the country. Now, what that is going to do again, like it is when they are owning institutions, owning assets, then there are more professionals who come in to service everything. I don't want to go into details. So that certainly that's going to expand. I expect Indian institutions players coming into real estate. So it will not be only foreign, but domestic institutional players participating in real estate market. So that will be one big trend. The second, I'm just thinking on the spot, is the services will improve, which I mentioned, the service sector, which will be, I mentioned facilities to sales to marketing, all those aspects. You will see the service sector expanding in real estate quite a bit. Third is technology, no doubt. Even now, when we talk about technology, uh, I don't think we are there. There is innovation happening. I'd mentioned earlier, prop tech companies coming in. We keep something called a prop tech competition. And we got quite a number of participants coming in. That's why I got the exposure on all these young people who are doing a fantastic job. But it's still not there. So I feel going forward, the prop tech, the technology, what we call products, the digitization side will really make a difference. So it's not be just a discussion; it will start showing up in daily work, which is already showing up. Artificial intelligence. So if you walk into the building, there is all this security systems, attendance systems, all artificial intelligence. Energy management. You see all these sensors which will come into a building. It is so technology, the pace of what you will see right now, technology is a discussion, and for a common person is just technology. But when you go to your home, when you go to the office, you go to a retail mall, you will see technology. It'll be visible, usable, and that will be a major part. So these will, and then of course, I would say that the investments going into real estate from the retail front, there are more and more people participating, more than residential. So I do see individuals investing more through structures like REIT. There are only a couple of REITs now. I'm confident in next few years there'll be another half a dozen REIT structures will come in, which means in the past individuals who could only participate in residential will get opportunity to participate in retail, in office space, commercial, in logistics, because industrial, there'll be all kinds of REIT structures will come in. and this will be a big trend because till now there's been a limited investment opportunities for individuals. So I can go on. These are the top four trends I think going forward.
Thank you so much, Mr. Magazine, for sharing those wise words on Indian real estate and those top trends. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for
Sir.
inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you.